What's up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and once again, we're back at it to answer your questions in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first.
That is what the one, the only Magic Eye, not to be mistaken with Magic Guy, has done. His question is, what would have happened if Guilliman turned traitor and not Horus?
That's a good question. Assuming that he still maintains the same war theme that he's supposed to have, I think he would be just as devastating as Horus was during the Horus heresy.
Yeah, it'd be the Guilliman heresy.
The Guilliman heresy.
The Gorilla Man heresy. Was it Robot Gorilla Man?
Yeah, because also you have to remember that during the Great Crusade, the rumor was that the Lost Legions somehow were implemented into the Ultramarines. So the Ultramarine legions were slightly larger than the rest.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were larger than the Luna Wolves, but I bet you they were just as skilled.
Oh yeah, definitely. If Guilliman was able to implement his Codex Astartes during the heresy, that would have fractured the forces of all the Imperium into smaller, more manageable bits. And I think the Horus heresy, or the heresy, I guess, the Guilliman heresy, would have gone a little bit more different.
Yeah, and I feel like Guilliman was a very well-respected Primarch. I don't think, out of all of them, though, maybe Sanguinius was more charismatic than Horus, but I think Guilliman and Horus are up there in terms of charisma.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Guilliman, as strong a fighter as he was, he kind of got his butt whooped a lot. I mean, he lost against Fulgrim, almost died to Fulgrim. Who was it that he was fighting? Was it Perturabo?
Who is it? This is Horus?
No, Guilliman.
Oh. Lorgar, Perturabo, and who else was for the betrayal of Calth? I think it was... Oh, yeah. Fulgrim, Lorgar, Perturabo.
Yeah.
Those three.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see Horus wield the flaming sword of the Emperor in current timelines. I wonder what that new sculpt would have looked like.
A badass, Chaos Guilliman?
Yeah. And the opposite, too. The first Primarch to come back would have been Horus.
Yeah, if that would... Yeah.
If we're following them, exactly timeline-wise.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about, Horus's personality. I haven't read the Horus Heresy novels, and obviously because he's not a Primarch with a Legion that you can play. The Black Legion isn't really, his.
Luna Wolves are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'd be interesting, because I really liked the design for his armor before he went Chaotic and Traitor, with, the white and the red, and he had a freaking wolf pelt on his back.
You know what else would be really cool? Because Abaddon is supposed to be, Horus's descendant or whatever. I wonder if it was... so it would be... What's the...
Cato Sicarius?
Yeah.
Or would it be more
Marnius Calgar? I think it would be Calgar's 13th Black Crusade or something like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. This, real big, hulking behemoth with massive, flaming fists or something like that.
That'd be badass. Yeah.
Do you think the Emperor would have still fallen and all that?
Yeah. I think that trajectory would have been the same, yeah. Yeah. Next question.
This one is by T.S. Van Pinkserton. Which Primarch, other than Horus, would have been the best Traitor War Master? Kind of keeping it in line with the previous question. I think not Horus. Magnus. Magnus would have been a great War Master. Being so psychically powerful. If he was bolstered by all the Chaos Gods, he would have been probably a being on, I don't know, maybe even stronger than the Emperor.
Yeah. I feel that Vulcan would have been a good War Master. I think Vulcan is just the very reliable Primarch.
Yeah.
You just know that he was one of the most powerful in close combat, but not like Leman Russ, where he was wild. He was actually smart.
Yeah. Smart, stoic, perpetual.
Yeah.
So having a chaos dude that can't die, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Not just that, but his relics that he forged. imagine if he turned those chaotic, how much stronger they'd be.
Yeah, that actually would be a really good story. So you're searching for his items, but they all have some type of chaotic corruption.
Right.
Also, the deficiencies, or like the what are they called? The things that are wrong with the gene seed.
Oh, gene
The
seed
flaws.
imperfections, yeah.
Yeah, for Vulcan would be really badass too, in terms of like making him a chaos space marine.
Right, chaos dragons and salamander-like stuff.
Yeah, because like the black dragons having their like spikes and everything.
The bone
like that.
growths.
That would be really cool. That'd be a really good chaos looking faction.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Yeah. Which one would be the worst in your opinion?
To lead the Horus Heresy?
Mm-hmm. Like to be the next War Master, like replacing Horus.
I think Perturabo would be too bland.
I feel like if you went that route, it'd be more like Dark Mechanicus kind of stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
Which would be great. Hopefully that would have been like an actual playable like race faction.
Yeah, that would be cool. But I feel like him as a character, as like a villain.
Yeah,
he's very stereotypical.
Yeah, he doesn't have that allure that other Primarchs have.
Yeah.
Lorgar would be interesting.
So he'd be a War Master?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he would have the brains.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd have to agree. Probably Perturabo.
Next question. This one comes from Galgamath. What if a Croute eats the Emperor? Nothing.
Yeah.
So in order for a Croute to actually adopt some type of
traits and stuff like that,
it has to be generations. Mm-hmm. And you can't really stretch the Emperor's body for generations.
Well, I mean, he's been alive for how long on that throne?
So you're saying he would like keep him alive, but slowly like take
basically just like make his body into jerky and just like have like a bite a day.
But does that work? So is his regeneration like Wolverine's, where it just comes back, or is it like?
Because like the images you see of him, it's like his flesh is all gone. He's pretty much just like a skeleton.
Yeah, so then that leads me to believe that like it's finite.
Yeah, so I guess it wouldn't really work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the lifespan of a Croute?
That's actually a good question.
If it's low enough, then maybe.
Right. Yeah, like if they're like dogs.
Yeah.
Or like rabbits, because rabbits fuck all the time.
Mm-hmm. But not like flies, because they only live like what, a day?
Yeah. Next question.
This one's by Matsunaga ST. What's the current situation on the Imperium, and how does the story progress? So, I mean, this must have been before the huge announcement, but the Silent King has returned.
Yep.
Yeah. That's currently where we're at. There's a new addition in the game. Got to get that frog out my throat.
Ribbit.
I don't know why, but I thought of the book like Frog and Toad.
Ah, yeah.
Very wholesome book.
It was.
But yeah, the Silent King has returned. The Primaris Sisters of Battle, they're all fighting against the Necron, rising up.
Yeah, because like up until that announcement, the big threat was chaos. Mm-hmm. So chaos with the, what is it, the
Cicatrix Maledictum.
There you go.
Huge scar tearing the galaxy in two.
Yeah, so that was the big deal. And then a couple of Xeno villains came out, but I think the Silent King being out is more, it's deadlier. Because like Taraka got a new model and got some lore, but it wasn't as hyped as the Silent King returning.
Right.
And it's not even just the Silent King. Like it seems like he's coming back with so much.
Oh yeah, new units, a new Catan.
That Catan I don't really like. I don't think it fits with the.
Agreed. Yeah, the aesthetic is very different.
It's Eldari kind of.
Yeah, I mean I get it. Catan aren't Necron per se. They're their own. They're star gods. They existed, separately from the Necron tier. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like when you look at the Nightbringer, the Deceiver, they kind of fit into they look Necron-y.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Incarn, Iniad, mm-hmm. he also can look like a Catan and vice versa. So yeah, I can see the resemblances from like the Eldari stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really seen there hasn't been any clear reveals for the Catan, as well as the Silent King. So we still got to see some high def stuff, and overall just like a good actual picture of it.
I was disappointed when I saw because that leaked image came
mm-hmm.
out. I was disappointed at the fact that the Silent King did not look muscular and badass like the book said.
Right. He just looks like a regular Necron Lord.
Yeah. He's even hunched back, and mm-hmm. he's a hunchback, and he looks like he's been through things.
Right.
which is the opposite of what I wanted.
You wanted like some big, like The Rock looking dude.
Exactly. I wanted The Rock. Exactly, The Rock doing his eyebrow move.
I mean, it's a good thing because I mean, you could just buy like a WWE like The
Rock
toy and replace him.
Yeah, get bashed.
Yeah.
I feel like the Rock is in everything now,
He
so
is.
him appearing in 40K that wouldn't surprise me. Who would he be good to play as like a Primarch? If there was a live action movie.
I mean, he's got charisma, and he's bald, so Horus.
Yeah, Horus. I think he'd be really good Horus.
And he's supposed to play, was it Black Adam in DC?
Yep.
So I mean, he's gonna play like a really big, like heavy hitting type dude.
Yeah. Next question comes from Simon Teese. Why does the Imperium hunt down the genetic descendants of the Emperor? So that doesn't really, that's not a thing anymore. So the thing was it was the Star Child theory. Basically, the old lore used to say that the Emperor had descendants, but they could not reproduce, and the Inquisition wanted to collect them, sacrifice them, in order to restore the Emperor, and then give birth to the Star Child, which was the Emperor.
Essentially, yeah.
But it never like followed through. I think the Inquisition. I think that there was a schism within the Inquisition between the Puritans and the Radicals, and then GW changed the lore completely, and then they were like, nope, there's no kids.
Right. This was around the same time with the whole like Eldar human crossbreeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wish they would have kept. I think having a half elf or half Eldar would be badass.
Right. Because it would also tie into a whole lot of things. It's like, was Eldrad half and half? Like, was that why he was so strong, or what makes him stronger than others psychically?
Yeah.
So the next question is by Defool06. His question is, who would win between the Beast or Taraka? But currently, the Beast is Taraka.
Yes.
But I assume you're talking about like back during the heresy, or before the heresy, during the Crusade, and Gazgul currently. Well, I mean, Gazgul isn't as big as the Beast was, because like the Beast would like pick up Primarchs in his hand.
Yep. I think that's a tough one. I have to give it to the Beast just because that's what the whole thing with orcs is. Like, they're all about just aggression, and the biggest and the mightiest usually comes out on top.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that Taraka model, like, he could only lose 4 wounds per turn. That's a little OP, man.
He's expensive, though. I don't want to buy a whole set in order to get that one model.
Oh, I thought you were talking about, like, points-wise.
Oh, and I haven't even checked the points. And then if you want to buy him by himself on eBay, I think it's like $90.
It's like, might as well just buy the whole box.
Yeah, it's like, once you do the whole shipping and handling, it's like fucking dropping $100 on one model. As an orc player, you just can't do it.
Yeah, because usually $100 is like a whole green tie.
Yeah. Then that's like 100 points on the tabletop.
Yeah, just if that.
Yeah. Next question. This one comes from Gofaria Rebels. How are you guys doing? We're doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, look at the state of the world and you can kind of see.
Riots, coronavirus,
hornets.
Killer bees.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time to be alive.
Yeah.
The best part is that the world is crumbling all around us, and what we're worried about is miniatures.
Yeah. It's like, oh, what if Horus and Guilliman switch places?
Yeah.
But I mean, we need something to kind of like
distract ourselves.
But at the same time, it's like it's like a yin and yang, a give and take. It's like you want to distract yourself from all the negative you're seeing, but at the same time, you got to be productive and proactive to stop the negativity out there.
Usually when I am confronted by that conundrum, which is every day now, I usually just watch Bridget B.
There you go.
And then I forget about my troubles. You should do the same. Take at least 5 minutes out of your day to just watch one Bridget B video. Hopefully it lasts 5 minutes.
I mean, that's if we still have internet. Maybe that's the next step in this
thing to go.
2020 year. Internet goes away. We regress to our primal instincts.
If the internet goes away, then we're done.
Yeah. I mean, if the internet goes out at our house, we're already arguing within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Restart the router. Go outside. Call the guy.
Yep.
What's the password again? Oh, wait, that's the neighbor's Wi-Fi. But yeah, be safe. What else can we say?
Yes. Next question. Wait, I thought he had... Hold on, my bad. He had a second. Yeah, he had a part 2. What would the Emperor do if he met the Silent King? Probably shake his hand.
I don't know. The Emperor is kind of not in a position to be shaken right now.
No, but I'm assuming that it is at the height of his power. Because the Emperor, like, he sees all. He's controlling the Astronomicon, so he has already met the Silent King.
Yeah, I think rumor has it that they did talk. Because I know Sanguinius has met the Silent King.
Mm-hmm.
And the Silent King was like, yo, Sanguinius was my dude. He even gave me his mask. You can't see me.
Yep, John Cena. So what do you think the Emperor would do?
I mean, as much as, like, xenophobia is a thing and the whole, like, like, they have conflicting viewpoints, but at the same time, it would be greatly in their benefit to work together. Tyranids, chaos, all this is something impacting both humanity and Necrons. Where Necrons need a living body, humanity obviously can't just die to the gods of chaos and all that. So they really should be working together for the benefit of both of them. And then once that's all over, then they're going to fight amongst each other. Because that's what happened when the Blood Angels and the Necrons teamed up against the Tyranids. It's like, oh, we need to fight this big threat. And then the Necrons were like, peace, you guys got it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I really think that the Emperor would be smart enough to be, what is the word? Like, apprehensive when dealing with anything that the Necrons say.
Hopeful, but cautious.
But then also the Silent King would just be trying to figure out a way to unify his dynasty or his empire again. Because that was their whole thing. Like, the War of Secession during the War in Heaven, it seems that the Necron and the Necron tier were very, like, schismatic. They loved just breaking apart and fighting each other. So maybe the Silent King would use humanity because they seem to be the number one race in the galaxy in terms of population as the bad guys.
Or maybe they use this alliance as a means to get rid of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of put them out as, like, grunts, make them fight in the front lines, and then usurp them.
I can't wait for the lore for the Silent King to come out. Like, I want to know what he's thinking.
The new 9th edition codex comes out, and we just get a whole freaking, like, juicy sandwich full of lore.
Next question.
This one's by Jimmy McHugh. Since the Big E created the Custodes and the Sisters of Silence to work together, wouldn't the Null Maidens have any effect on the psychic abilities? Or is the Big E too powerful for their abilities?
Wait, say that again?
So he's saying the Emperor created the Sisters of Silence and the Adeptus Custodes, but wouldn't the Sisters of Silence also affect his psychic powers? Or no?
Oh, well, I think that's the purpose that well, yes and no. It affects them, but usually the Sisters of Silence were well trained. The same thing happened to Eisenstein or Eisenhorn.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I mean, everything's a spoiler nowadays, right?
Yeah. In his retinue, and most Inquisitors do this, they hire blanks because blanks are really good at obviously fighting psychic. And then they just, like, they have a place all on their own, and that's what the Sisters of Silence had. They had these giant. When the Great Crusade was happening, the Emperor would go to places with the Sisters of Silence, but the Sisters of Silence weren't, like, with him. They were riding on these giant ships called I think they were just called the Black Ships. But yeah, so yes, it affected him, but at the same time, there is ways to mitigate that.
If you want to see, like, how would they affect them, look at the events that transpired when Magnus invaded the moons. The Sisters of Silence were present during that battle, and yeah, they affected Magnus the Red, one of the strongest psychers in the whole galaxy. So yeah.
But it didn't completely nullify.
Right.
just like when the Tyranids invade, Psychers can still use psychic abilities around them.
Right. But they're just like they have this like gnawing in their minds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. They think about killer bees.
Hornets.
Next question.
This one's by the Fool06. How would each Loyalist Primarch return? For me personally, I think GW or whoever writes the lore should make Sanguinius' death at the hands of Horus canon. His physical body really did die, and it isn't just in stasis, and that his soul joined the army of the light. This would essentially make him be able to come back as a Primarch Spirit Saint. That would then open up a whole new realm for lore, human afterlife, the army of the light, saints, the Legion of the Damned, and all this would finally be revealed.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Because that's a way of making everybody happy. You don't change the lore, and you bring back a beloved Primarch.
And you add to the lore.
Yeah.
Because then you solidify the fact that the Legion of the Damned, they truly are saints.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just some warp anomaly.
You're right. And at the same time, it's like, we already saw the whole near-death stasis thing with Guilliman. Why do it again with Sanguinius?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid GW.
But at the same time, it's like, how else are all the other Primarchs going to come back? The Lion, he's fine and dandy. Like, it's just a matter of time before they reveal him. 9th edition. Do you think they're going to reveal like a Primarch per edition? 8th edition was Guilliman. 9th would be the Lion.
Yeah.
10th, Miguelito.
Miguelito, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to reveal another Primarch soon.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. But yeah, those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. If we didn't get to your question, ask again. We will get to it at some point.
That's right.
You could also ask multiple times in one stream. Just don't spam, because if you spam, YouTube will delete your stuff.
Tweet us, delete us.
Tweet us, delete us.
Xenos Opinus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Xenon Girl from the 21st Century. Out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.